Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is the press reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, and it's time now for our analysis. I'll be joined by our guest Hassan Sardauna, a political analyst. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Good morning. Join us.
Thank you for having me.
Our viewers, you should know that our phone lines are open for you to call in now and make your contributions known during the conversation. All right, sir, you're welcome to the studio once again.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to be with one of the boldest headlines on the Punch newspaper that has since been in the mouth of most Nigerians. And this one says, Tinubu won presidential poll, INEC tells tribunal. You know, the case has been in the tribunal and they've been waiting for a response so far, and INEC has finally spoken. It says Tinubu won presidential poll, INEC tells tribunal. It says President-elect clinched 1/4 of valid vote cast in 29 states. That's according to the electoral umpire. They say losing FCT, RFE Corps can't invalidate APC victory, says INEC. I'll take that again. It said losing FCT, RFE Corps can't invalidate APC victory, says INEC. So what do you make of that? Especially because a lot of persons feel like if FCT has not been won, then the president-elect should not be declared, and people also feel like he didn't make the number of states, and they think there are other, you know, the RFE Corps and all of that. So what would you say in this line?
Okay. And people are making a lot of noise because of this 25% of FCT.
Exactly.
That if you won or you get 25% out of 24 states in Nigeria, including FCT, it was a normal thing before. But in this time around, you know, people look at whatever reasons to create something out of nothing. And that is why they are talking. Because I have seen a lot of senior Nigerian lawyers debating, talking, like somebody, Abakoba, was saying that so long you have not won FCT, you have not won the election. One. Secondly, I have seen people like Falana and co are saying that no. Even in the statement, they said including FCT. That means the 25% of 24 states, including FCT, have validated your win, your victory in that very election. So what am I trying to say here is that those who are talking, INEC is the institution that will going to legalize or not legalize any election conducted by the INEC. And now INEC is telling you that Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu have won election. Losing FCT will not invalidate his victory.
I'd like to come in here now.
Yes.
Many, something on the mouth of many is the fact that why is INEC saying this now, where we saw a lot of malpractices that infiltrated the elections, and in the aspect of the IRF, malfunction of IRF, refusal to even post the election results on the portal as against what we had on the papers. And then we saw the malpractices that happened in Lagos State, for instance, the election violence that did not allow people to come out to vote in the first place, and they didn't say anything during this period. We saw a lot of pressure for INEC chairman to give instructions that those results should be posted, but he was hell-bent and refused. So what many are saying, what gave him the right now to come out to say, of course, Tinubu won the presidential poll and the rest?
Thank you very much. And that is what they are calling reviewing.
Yeah.
So most of these cases from various states, the INEC have reviewed those cases within them. Secondly, there are some people, you know, there is this adage that a child that have raised his hands is one that need to be supported.
Yes.
Sometimes people cry more than how they were beaten. When you are talking about Lagos, I am a Nigerian, you are a Nigerian too. The culture of every state, we know them very well. Lagos, people, it was a Nigerian capital. But still there are people that owned Lagos that are Yorubas, whether we like it or not. Lagos does not fall from heaven. It is also like Sokoto, Enugu, Anambra, Katsina, Nasarawa, and Niger. So there was election, presidential election. And we are talking about presidential election, if I'm right. Okay.
Yes.
Then in this presidential, if you said that people were denied election, who are those people talking? Labour won Lagos. Not even PDP. He was a governor, 2 times governor in Lagos. He was a senator in Lagos. Most of the people who are his predecessors are from his party. There is no single party that ever won the governorship in Lagos rather than the party that Ashwaju belonged to. But let me tell you, there is a candidate in one of these parties, in one of this region, that was denied voting, and she was asked to move out of her house, and they burned the house into ashes. It's not trending. So why must it be Lagos? I felt that Lagosians are too matured enough than any other person. You can't come and declare a party that just came out yesterday with a different, I don't want to talk about it much, but we have known the reality. The reality is that in FCT, they have a minister. The ministers, honorable and state minister, they are APC faithful members. They are under central government. But they allowed people to exercise their right. They voted what they want, and they voted Labour Party. That does not mean if you want 11 states out of 36 state plus FCT that you have won election in Nigeria. No, some people have sacrificed this thing long ago before they won the election. Let me give you an example. Okay. In 2003, AMPP have given a good fight through Buhari movement. In 2011, CPC have given a wonderful result through Buhari movement. But he could not able to scale until when he agreed to come together and provide a unity, a national outfit party. And that is APC. SCN came in, CPC come, part of AFGA come, new PDP come in, and then they won the election. But you will be imagining somebody who came third is claiming first. Not second.
Okay, so are you saying that, sorry, are you now saying that Obi's petition should be dismissed when it comes to the status of FCT?
All this allegation is just mere talking. I told you that they are bringing something out of nothing. It has been happening for a quite long time. MPP has been winning during PDP. There was never a time any lawyer came out. Were they sleeping? Were not in Nigeria. The laws were not there. The laws were there. But the only problem we are having is that majority of people who you feel you have a lot of respect for them, they have turned to be blind intentionally just because to favor their what they want. Because what am I trying to say here is this. We have no any country than Nigeria. Nigeria is our country. We must come together and salvage Nigeria. I was listening to one of the governors yesterday from the South. He was asked that what if the opposition came together and produced a Senate president or a speaker in this time around. He said, I will not be a party to that. I will fight anybody from the opposition who want to bring an opposition as a leader. He said, look, let us look about where we are. We are Nigerians. We need Nigeria. We must grow. Nigeria must grow through our effort. We must realize that it is not about who get what, how, and when. No, it has passed that. Now is a time for governance. We must come together and make sure that if you brought somebody from maybe PDP, or maybe from NNPP, or maybe from Labour Party, and became a speaker, and then the sitting government is APC, what are you professing? You are not adding value to the government, especially the executive arm of government. We had an issue where we have a Senate president who became an opposition as a party member just because of self-interest. They spent the 4 years just how do we call it? Without achieving anything, because he who did what he want, how he won, when he won, he ends without achieving a cause. Tell me what Bulokola Saraki have achieved in the 4 years that he became. Okay,
before we move to the Senate presidency, if I may, one of the if I remember, the the most important thing was the fact that they said for the presidential aspirant or candidate said that they are not fighting the presidential elect, but the process that brought him into power. So don't you think that this should count for something? Not seeing the fact that what's happened around the elections. I was on the field. I saw in Abuja here where people, they complained that they were already disenfranchised. You saw them not voting. Some of the beavers were not working, and the rest of it. And in other states too, from people that are reported from other states.
Maybe those people are from APC or PDP.
Well, you never know.
Thank you. If I didn't mean then I will tell you something. At that very election, I was also in FCT. I saw what happened exactly. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. People came out in mass. Close to my place, there is a school that is at Wuse Zone 2. When I wake up in the morning, I was coming somewhere in the morning around 5. I saw about 6 these long buses coming with people. And these people are not, that means precisely they are not residing in FCT, either in Suleja or Masaka or anything by. But because the laws say that you can only participate in politics either where you do your business, where you are staying, or where you are working. If your house is in what they call it, Mararaba, and this is where you are working, there is a polling unit here, you have a right to register with that polling unit. This is one thing that people must know.
Sure.
So nobody will deny you that you are not from FCT. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So most of these people, I know that they are not living inside the town. They are living outside Sketch and maybe neighboring state, but they were there because they are ready to exercise their right, and they were able to come in time and vote. And let me tell you, the beavers machine have a time to stop. One must know this. Okay. Once it is 2 dot in the afternoon, the law say that every beavers in Nigeria have to be stopped.
All right,
but because of some places there is crisis or some short of lack of bringing materials in times, they were up to India.
Okay, I'd like you to hold your thought. Let's quickly take a quick call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the press. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Mr. Balakana.
All right, please join the conversation.
I'm calling from Mina, Niger State.
Great.
Yes, I like the program and the press.
Thank you.
I met the 3 people in the studio. That's why I can see that they are in unity, we are in uniform. All of them are wearing blue. What the 2 ladies and the one that they
so much coincidence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is good. That is good. My contribution on this Senate president. You see, all of them just for they are just fighting for power. However, I pray that they will not have their way. Let the opposition have their way, especially during Bukola Saraki. It's a welcome development because when Bukola Saraki was the Senate president, he has a lot of achievements. They are able to checkmate the government. That is Buhari government. But the APC, they didn't want Saraki, but Saraki was able to become the self-righteous. It's an achievement. It's good for the government when you have opposition. Because if you have opposition, it will check you that are in power. Somebody is checking you. When the person is checking you, catching your best, you know your weaknesses and you're able to perform. When Saraki for example, they are not able to be checking you. When the Buhari sent the bill, no, they didn't not be approved in the Senate. They are not taking no because Saraki was there.
Alright.
But then when they are able to consider in the second that they put Saraki aside, they are just taking low. Now Nigeria is indebted, which is not a good. Debt is not good, it's a bad news, not a good news. Like I think Nigeria, because they have their way, this Senate president, who is Muslim, he has a Buhari person. And anything they bring that, they will just say approve. You need to scrutinize it. So my prayer is that this APC now that they are come, opposition should be the Senate president.
All right.
Either the Labour Party or PDP. So that they will check the government very well. Thank you. That's my conclusion.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution. Well, I do want us to go that route yet, even though he's taking us that way. But let's quickly finish up with this election issues on ground. Yes. Now, according to INEC came out to speak now. But the question is, it's been over 7 weeks since the announcement of the presidential candidate, of the president-elect. Why did it take so long for INEC to have spoken, you know? Why did it take so long for them to talk to the court or to tell them, to give them their response? Because there's a vacuum of communication. And when there's a vacuum, people tend to feel it. So why have they waited for so long for people to bring their own stories to fill up those vacuums before they came out to speak?
And to add to what Olamide has said, now the call for interim government would be perceived to be the reason why the body is scared that, of course, we do not want a divided Nigeria, and the fact that the 29th May for swearing in is fast approaching. Could it just be for selfish reasons?
Okay, as I said earlier, INEC is an institution that deals with anything to do with election in Nigeria, whether we like it or not. I can't come and claim that I am the journalist. I am doing what the journalists are doing. No.
Of course.
I remain a public analyst. And for that reason, I have to serve my purpose. Whether now or never, INEC remains the intact body, organization that have a right to say, yes, you have won election, no, you have lost election. Secondly, you know, people have been talking about beavers, IRF, offloading the our
results on the IRF portal.
Then INEC, when it started, just bring down their server. You know this case? Yes. I saw the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Professor Ali Issa Fantami. He was saying that a lot of people have taken their discourse on bias. So once you taken your discussion on bias, however good I am, you will never see a reason of believing me.
Defensive.
Then he said that from the election day to after election day, with 3 to 4 days or so, there was the cyber of Galaxy, INEC, about 3 of them. That is the national servers, legal one, tendered one that everybody knows in the world, were attacked for good 12 million times plus.
Yes, we saw that.
And then when somebody was talking, he said, these people that are saying they are professional, where are they? Let them come out and say, yes, I challenge you. He said, I will go to present my professionals from also with the NIDA server. I have NIDA, I have some in the communication and the Galaxy. They will come and sit down and challenge. Forget about a criminal who is behind, it's just like a Yahoo boy or a hacker who was trying to hack your account. He is not a professional, he's a criminal. But you are believing what he is telling you. When they were talking about this thing in 2019, somebody was brought to the Supreme Court. You were ashamed even that a whole presidential case, somebody was brought from Kenya to tell us lies. When he was asked question a lot, he answered on assumption. So when you talk of why are they talking now, it is about timing. Talking, it is not something that I will just present a bunch of money to you. You cannot just tell me this is 5 million or 3 million. You have to count the money. That is why we are talking about reviewing. For the first time, we have an INEC reviewing what had happened during the election time. In many states, they are there: Kano, Taraba, Kaduna, Ekiti, Ogun State, and some about 13 of them. Because people have complained about it.
Well, why review the situation when you already made a decision by announcing the governor-elect or the president-elect?
Thank you very much. What am I trying to say here is this. Already a president must be declared. And who has the highest numbers was declared. And some people complain that this state and that state has a case. And most of these cases that they are even talking about is not a presidential case. You know what? It's a gubernatorial cases. Taraba, Kano, Kaduna, Ogun, and whatever. They are talking about state governorship election, not presidential. Let me tell you, there was never a time when I witnessed a free and fair election than this very recent one.
Nigerians may just beg to the fact that you said is a free and fair election, especially because of the report we got nationwide.
The report is about self-interest. How on earth will you tell me in a state somebody have scored 98%?
But at the
and that person is telling me in Kano that I have rigged election.
But Mr. Sardauna,
somebody is telling me the same thing.
Mr. Sardauna, you made a reference to a woman that was asked to leave her house, and her house was burned.
Yes.
Probably because she did not vote for whoever they wanted. Would you still say that that kind of election is free and fair?
Let me tell you, whenever I know you are a student of mathematics or whatever, you have studied at least mathematics from your primary school to a secondary school. Whenever you scored 70%, your teacher must write excellent.
It depends on what makes you score 70%.
Once you have scored 70%,
how did you get the 70%? That is the question.
The fact remains that the election, 70% of the election or above is very fair and just.
Okay, so you're talking about
if something happened silly, it does not disqualify the sanctity of that election. I don't know whether you are getting what I'm trying to say.
Very well.
I know that this woman is contesting. She was even a candidate of one of the party, and she was denied. She was brought out with her and her siblings and her children, and the house was burned to ashes. Then when I am talking about who is crying loud, most of the ones that are crowding louder, they are the ones who rigged the election. Because there are things that I know. What I knew is this: there is no reason why you must score 98 to 96%.
Mr. Sardauna, let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
You're welcome to the press. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Onitsha.
All right, please join the conversation.
Okay. As you were talking about the INEC chairman asking interfering into the tribunal. When he was announcing this result, the court did not intervene. He said go to court. They are not in the court. He has no right to intervene there. Nigerians are just watching, listening to hear from the court, not from the INEC again. The INEC time period is ended.
All right.
Thank you for your thoughts.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to the press. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, this is Agbi calling from Lagos.
All right, please join the conversation.
Okay, thank you. Let me quickly make reference to the last caller. Sometimes ignorance is a disease which, if we don't really know, can really hurt us. We don't understand that INEC, as the chief one in charge of the election, as it is now, has that right, okay, to defend its work before the court of law. That is one. So except if there's any amendment, and I expect you journalists to be enlightening them as well. Then secondly, the issue of whether the issue of whether INEC should why didn't INEC come out earlier before now? Come on, we're journalists. We should understand that INEC will have to come out when the body that is responsible to adjourn the issue is there. That's the cause. Okay, so INEC also has the case to defend because it's the one that runs or that was in charge of the election. That is that and that aspect. The issue of 25%, I think that we should not forget about that. You see, let me tell you something. What we don't understand is that these politicians, especially these, succeeded in dividing us through religion. Okay? Yes. Through religion and even ethnicity. Okay? Even now, when I see professionals like judges when they are talking, I just try to look for the name. Once I see the name, I know where the person is going direct, is going to make this allegation, whatever. Just like Apakoba and the rest of them, okay, whatever.
All right.
So, let's forget issue of 25%, two-thirds of 36 seats and Federal Capital Territory, a mathematics student will tell you that everything is involved, meaning that you sum everything together.
All right.
So it's not necessary that you must get 25% from the Capital Territory. And finally,
please, we need you to round up your thoughts.
Yes, finally, yes. Lagos State, please. If the way journalists are here, sorry, the way Lagos journalists are talking about Lagos, it is not like that.
All right. All right.
Yes, if we find violence, there's no place where there is no violence in election, okay?
Okay.
And even very few places you find that are all this violence.
All right.
So the Lagos election was so superb. So don't
All
forget about all this is just noise. They are just trying to truncate this system, and it's not gonna work.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks for your contribution. One more call before we go. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Please.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Please, we need you to turn down the volume of your TV set.
Victoria, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. All right. Good morning to KAFTAN.
Good morning.
My name is Fortune Road. I'm calling from Asaba.
All right. Please join the conversation.
All right. I want to chip in more about the issue of constitutional requirement that you people are talking about.
Okay.
I think when the INEC as the state has the power to announce but that does not mean that they cannot be questioned, or the process at which they arrive at that their announcement cannot be questioned. This is what MP and PDP are doing. I have never believed in Nigeria election because I know people have always characterized with fraud. So I've never voted because I know the noise about rivers and what have you, they never count. And INEC, indeed, I was justified at the end of the day because it did not work. So this is the most controversial, election so far. And but I pray, let the tension down. Let this one in this man so that at least let the tension come down. But the people, the opposite side who are seeking redress as well must be respected, and then they should be talked to in a in a calm manner. Because they have the right to question. Because when you talk about the constitutional requirement of becoming a president, you have 3 criteria that define that: scoring a majority vote, yes, as you are doing met it. Then scoring national spread of 2/3 of the state, having 35%, he met it. The third one, FCT, the seat of power, is not a state. People are making this blind argument.
All right.
But FCT is not a state. But if Asiwaju is the only person who comes closer to securing this, I think for the peace to reign, I think he should be sworn in. But the whole process entirely is not that clear. Because if you are arguing about
please, we need you to round up your thoughts.
FCT, just understand that there has never been a president since 1999 that has never scored this 25%, and you can never win all the 36 states of the federation without being able to secure 25% of vote cast in Abuja. This is because Abuja, after Lagos, is next cosmopolitan state. It's not a regional state. No one candidate will monopolize all the votes there. So for your popularity to be truly shown to the world, the APC candidate not being able to win the 2 elite cities in Nigeria, it leaves so much to be desired.
All right, thank you very much. We may need to cut you off now. Thank you so much.
The guy in the studio is arguing out of context, but for the peace to reign, swearing in this man.
All right, thank you very much. Our time is fast spent. Away from that, let's talk about the presidency, the Senate presidency. Now we have Senate presidency. APC looks to South
shops for Northwest deputy. Now there are speculations of who's going to be the Senate president. And like the first caller said, the Senate president should come from the opposition party in order to checkmate the activities of the president. What do you make of that?
The caller from Niger, I think Bala, he says his name, is ignorance of what he's talking about. He's just talking on emotional reason. Okay. Emotional reasons is that, no, you have offended me, I will deal with Olamide or Vicky. Nothing more than that. But when we are talking about rationalism, that is in terms of moving a country forward with a situation of political arms of government that have made a government that is to do with executive, legislators, and judiciary, and they have powers. Every this arm of government play a role whereby whether you become an opposition or not, there is nothing to nothing will happen. The other thing I knew is this: when he is talking about Bukola Saraki, it is not wrong, but he remained the party faithful member when he was elected Senate President. I want you to understand. But what am I talking about? For somebody to elect PDP or Labour or NNPP or SDP among those parties that have senators, it is a day joke. It will never happen. I told you a seated governor yesterday was making this statement that I am from the opposition. Anybody that make a mistake that will going to bring an opposition to be a speaker or a Senate President, we will going to fight him from A to Z because we need something to move. Let me give you an example. When Bukola Saraki was opposing the presidency or the executive arm of government, they refused to be approving for maybe borrowing or whatever that the last one of these Niger people were talking about. Borrowing, which country is not borrowing? America is the most highest indebted country in the world, and nothing happened to the American. In fact, it's the police dog of the world. If you talk, they say your mouth is smelling. If the one from far away, they say your mouth is smelling fine. What we are talking about is that when you borrow, what have you done with your money? What the government of the day have borrowed, they were not paying salary, they were not buying cars, they were constructing and constructing. It is there on the ground. I just came back from Kano yesterday. I know day before yesterday. You can see these AKK pipelines are going on, the gas pipelines. The construction of the road are going on. From Sokoto to Kontagora was constructed by them. From Jebba down to Shaki Junction. From Ibadan to Lagos. From Itakpe to Wari. From Calabar to Kazana Alu. From Abuja here to Makodi. Go and see what is happening. When people are talking, we were having only one phase 1. Now we have phase 2 in Kano, and we have in Lagos phase 3. We have extended phase 2 and phase 3 now in Abuja. We have the new international standard of airport in Enugu. Port Harcourt has been done. Then what are we talking about? When people are talking, yes, have they said about the just compared debt? They paid 3.6 trillion naira. Why are they not telling us that yes, they have the government have paid up to 3.6 trillion naira recently? So you think not on the media? So you're saying opposition from another party? I mean, the Senate president from another party cannot imagine.
So what should be the basis for the selection or election of the Senate president?
Normally, they have a certain percentage, and this certain percentage, when 38 senators will going to converge without any other senators and voted for a Senate president, it has stands. It became a Senate president, and nothing will happen. I want to tell you this, Olamide. I know what I'm talking about. But when you will go to impeach him until when you get the two-third again, that is why he could not be impeached. That is Bukola Saraki.
All right, but you know, some persons are saying right now that so a particular, now talking within the party, a particular group of people feel like we have put in the work the most, so we should be the one to, the Senate presidency should come to us, while some are feeling like a particular part of the country has been marginalized, so the Senate presidency should go to them. What's your take on this?
You see, when people are talking like that, mostly they talk about, as I said earlier, emotional discussion, not about progressive or issues of Nigeria.
So you don't think this is also progressive when it is within the party?
When it's talking about the party.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, within the party.
We are here for contribution. You understand what I'm saying? When we are contributing every month. After end of the year, everybody will take what she contributed. You are putting 50,000. She is putting 20,000. I'm putting 15,000. At the end of the day, I'm saying that I should take what you're supposed to take. You that have contributed 50,000. Is it just? Is it the right thing to do? You have an opportunity to clear yourself that yes, I can I need to be giving 500,000 at the end of the year because I have been contributing 50,000. But I have been contributing 15,000. I want to be taking your money, your 500,000. What are you supposed to be giving 150,000 at the end of the year? So what am I trying to tell you is that it is not bad when you rationalize it. Even if somebody does not vote for you, you can give him that chances. But the chances has been given to that very place that we are hiding under some rationale. It is the southeast. So we have somebody like Oji Uzokalu. We have somebody like Izanaso and others. If they are even taking it to the southeast, I prefer them to give Izanaso. I am tired of governors to continue being a Senate president.
So what do you make of Senators Godswill Akpabio, Jibrin Baro favored? Tinubu has final say, has no choice for the post, says source.
Let me tell you, it's about 2027. If you made a mistake and give a Senate president to a place that cannot bring vote, take example, the zone that I'm coming from, that is the Northwest. We used to bring the highest number of vote in anybody that will become a president in Nigeria. We have the highest number of people, the highest number of vote. And so long we will not vote for you, you will going to fail. Check the record of any president from 1999 to date.
So
what am I trying to say? Okay. They don't have anything. They don't have a Senate president, a president, they don't have a vice president, they don't have anybody that will going to stand for them in this issue. So what am I trying to say here is this: so long they will not going to be given a principal officer in the Senate or in the green chamber as a speaker, we have a long way to go. Just imagine overnight.
I think there are speculations of the deputy Senate president coming from
a deputy Senate president or deputy speaker cannot hold Northwest.
So you're thinking that
they must give them either a Senate president or speaker.
But
now, it is not
that would still bring to question religion.
You see, when they are talking about Ashwaju and Kashim, the first person that spoke this thing on his own mind when he came out of the chamber, he said, "I'm talking my opinion. I'm saying my opinion, not as a senator." That is Oji Uzokalu. Now he cannot come back and tell me another story. He said, if I were Tinubu, I would not pick a Christian from northern Nigeria because he is a Muslim minority in the south. Muslim are minority in the south. He said, if you come to the north, you pick a Christian. It's a minority in the north. So I cannot pick a minority in the north. I will pick the majority so that I can win election. Somebody said, it's about religion. He said, we are talking about winning, not about religion. I am picking somebody from the north as a Muslim because I want to win election. Be very careful. These things will not bring a food on our table. We need Nigeria to grow. We must drop these things that have been borrowed to us, both from the Christians and the Muslims. We are natives before these people. But let me tell you, they have. You can see what is happening in Israel. Well, you understand that the religion they have borrowed us, they are trying to discard it. Let us not be fighting about it.
All right, let's not fight about it. And we need Nigeria to grow. Well, you heard it from our own in-house, our analyst for today. And I'm sure you picked a thing or two from today's episode on the press. Thanks for joining us once again. I am Victoria Agbi.
And I am Olamide Alhassan. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye.